Who is the Eggman? Wait, let me rephrase that. Who is the man behind the tree? If you're watching this and have no idea what the hell I'm even referring to, let me fill you in. In both chapters of Deltarune, there's a small chance when going through a level transition that you get teleported to a room that contains just a tree. When interacting with the tree, it'll tell you that there's a man there and he'll offer you an egg. Pretty mysterious, isn't it? There are a lot of mysteries in Deltarune, as you may know looking through online communities, but this is the one that's pretty rarely discussed because there's next to nothing we know about it and can't really draw any conclusions. So this video will just act as a guide to everything we do know about the man and his egg. I'll be going through the man's appearance in chapter 1 and 2, and then I'm going to go over who it could be, as well as give you some fun facts about him. In chapter 1 Scarlet Forest, you have a 2% chance to be teleported to the tree room when entering the Starwalker bird room. As you see on screen, there is very little to this room. There's just a tree and a black border, which you can actually walk around in unlike other rooms. A small piano song loop called man.ogg, which is the music file, will play upon entry, replacing the already playing background music. Interestingly enough, Ralsei and Susie do not join Chris in this room, although dropping Ralsei's manual will trigger the dialogue to play, which I have to assume is an oversight and was missed in testing. Or Ralsei's just that pissed. When interacting with the tree, it says he is behind the tree, and this will occur from all angles except behind and to the right, in which you'll interact with the man himself. Dialogue reads, well, there is a man here. He offered you something, and you're given an option to press yes or no. Press yes and you'll receive an egg which goes into your key items. If you use it, nothing happens and it stays in your inventory. If you say no to the man, it says he needn't be there, and interacting again says, well, there is not a man here. Leaving the room will take you back to the market area. Once going back to the light world, the egg doesn't disappear or change into something else, it's just the egg. You can even put the egg into Asgore's fridge, and interacting with the fridge reveals that there was already an egg in there. If you drop the egg earlier, then one egg will be in Asgore's fridge, and strangely enough, interacting with it again creates a second egg in there. Chapter 2 expands the man's lore immediately. If you interacted with him in chapter 1, you can actually see him on your way to the library if you interact with one of the cars there. Interacting with the car says, there is a man inside this one. He waves at you happily. You can only see this once, and I'm gonna be honest, he seems like a lovely guy. He is truly the one thing keeping Hometown going in its positive attitude. Later in the Dark World, after you've triggered the annoying dog cutscene, you can find the man again in between the dog dumpster room and the road area if you're not on the Snowgrave route or the weird route. Interacting with it says, well, there is a man here. He might be happy to see you. What do you think? And then you select yes or no. Yes rewards you with an egg and says there is not a man here. And saying no does the exact same thing as chapter 1. Back in Lightworld, a lot more has changed. You can now drop the egg revealing the text, what egg? And the egg can also be placed in a basket of eggs in Stan's shop, and Susie jokes about reverse stealing from the stack of eggs. Interestingly enough, the egg will be removed from your inventory if you interact with the top right rack or bell in the store. And interacting with the egg basket after that reveals there are more eggs than usual, suggesting that egg is now there. The most interesting thing to come from chapter 2 in my opinion is when you interact with Temmie in the classroom. If you have the egg and talk to her, she'll place an egg on the table, and this egg will track how many eggs you've collected, and the counter will increase no matter what you've done with the egg. So say you put the other egg in Asgore's fridge or one of them's in Stan's basket, that egg will be there as long as you interact with it while you have the egg. Now the man has most commonly been assumed to be W.D Gaster, or this guy, otherwise known as the Mystery Man. Now let's break up the controversy that's been going up online. The Mystery Man and W.D Gaster may not be the same person. This sprite here is under the name Mystery Man, but is most commonly associated with Gaster, due to all these fun values connecting W.D Gaster and this sprite being in the middle of it. The biggest connection between the man in Deltarune and the Mystery Man is the fact that they just both have man in their names. This also further connects it to Gaster, because not only does Gaster have so many connections to Deltarune because he's just Gaster, but he's also probably this Mystery Man. If you're asking me who the man behind the tree is, I'm gonna say W.D Gaster / the Mystery Man. But to consider the eggs for a second, they could just be literal Easter eggs and this could all be one huge joke. Temmie having this egg and the egg being used in sort of a joking context just makes it so disconnected from the mystery that's being presented in the other part of the egg. So honestly, it could just be a way of counting Easter eggs. Or it's similar to the save points in the Undertale Genocide route and actually has a deeper meaning, indicated by the counting. Another connection that Gaster has to the egg is that egg in Wingding's font is left up up, which is a knight's movement pattern in chess. The reason why Wingding's font is relevant in the first place is because the only speech we've ever heard from Gaster in Undertale is in a room called Room_Gaster, where he speaks a lab entry called Entry 17 from when he was a royal scientist. Entry 17 can also be heard all throughout Deltarune, but that's a topic for another day. So I think that Gaster speaking in Wingding's font and Egg being in Wingding's kinda confirms that he could be the man behind the tree, and even potentially the knight. I also want to talk about another character that's speculated to be the man behind the tree, which is the Everyman. The Everyman is a creature that's first appearance was in the True Lab in Undertale, a part of one of Reaper Bird's attacks. People started to notice Everyman in Deltarune, however, during Jevel's Carousel attack, some graffiti in Hometown, in Pop-Up's attack, and in the Queen's Drama attack. We know nothing about this character, so the only reason they're thought to be the man behind the tree is because the Everyman is a bit mysterious and has man in the title. However, going through all the evidence, this really makes me believe that W.D Gaster is who's behind the tree, and is probably the knight too. Or, something more realistic, is that this is just all one big Easter egg hunt. Real quick, it'd be cool if you subscribe to the channel because not many people do. I'm nearly at 5k subscribers and I've got some really cool projects coming up that I'd hate for you to miss. If not, that's okay, just enjoy the rest of the video. Here are some fun facts about the man in the egg. Throwing the egg away in chapter 2 and returning to the Dark World will actually give you the egg back. The man is always addressed within the third person. The song that's played is called Man.ogg, and the song was originally made as a fan-made Yume Nikki song, which is an older indie RPG maker game. When the egg is dropped it says "What egg?", which may reference the phrase "What pumpkin" from MS Paint Adventures, a webcomic that Toby Fox made music for. Finally, in the Spamton Sweepstakes Q&A with Spamton, Claire T. Cookie on Twitter asked Spamton if Peepus was an egg, and Spamton responded saying eggs are another man's treasure. That's it. That's all we know about the man behind the tree and his egg. I hope you've enjoyed learning about this man and his egg, and maybe we'll get to see more of this man in chapter 3. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.